Hi, I'm Cody Stewart representing Koryu Uchinadi under Hanshi Patrick McCarthy. In this KU quick tip, I'd like to take a look at the hip position in front kick and side kick. Now, obviously there's a lot of differences between these techniques, but the way that the hips open is actually quite similar. And there's always a lot of value in analyzing the mechanics of our techniques and looking for similarities and differences to understand them better. Let's take a look. Let's start by considering some warm-up stretching. Now, beginners often consider a side kick to open like a side split and a front kick to open like a front split. But in reality, they're both somewhere in the middle. So my right hip is rolled over forwards. It's not open to the front like it would be for a side split, but it's also not turned so far that it's square to the left leg. Again, we're somewhere in the middle. Now if I bring my posture over to the right side, basing off my left and extending into the right, this should look like a side kick position. I have my hip rolled forward, I'm projecting through the heel and doing a side crunch up towards that leg. Conversely, if I bring my posture around to the left, base off the right leg and push into the left, this looks like my front kick position. I'm actively projecting my left hip further forward of the right and pressing through the ball of the foot. So right leg, side kick position, left leg, front kick position. Side kick, front kick. Let's look at this again with an opponent and consider one more point. Often when we practice our kicks, we practice them in a very neutral, balanced position with my weight directly centered over my base leg. The problem with this is that when I extend into my opponent, it tends to push me backwards. What I really want is to have my hips slightly forward of my base leg, which gives me just that little bit of an angle into the ground. Gives me the grounding so that when I extend, he moves rather than me moving backwards. Likewise with the front kick, my hips are positioned just slightly ahead of my base leg so that I can project my kick into my opponent, moving him backwards while I stay grounded. Also, I'm projecting that left hip ahead of the right hip. Like I mentioned before, it's not a true front split. I don't square off my hips and extend my leg for the same reason that in a punch I don't square off my shoulders and just extend the arm. It's about range and power. So finally, there's also a tendency to, while you push, lean backwards. Not only is this going to make me fall backwards, but it also keeps me from projecting my hip in. So there is a subtle apparent lean backwards, but that concave shape in the body comes as a result of projecting the hips into your opponent. So my shoulders will stay more or less above the base leg, but that concave shape, that subtle lean, isn't an active lean backwards, it's a product of having pushed my hips in. Hopefully this gives you some food for thought in comparing and contrasting front kick and side kick. Remember that the relative hip positions are not front split and side split respectively. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and check out my page for more like it. I'm Cody Stewart. Thanks for watching this KU Quick Tip.